level 2 now. So just quickly to go back on the pyramid visual. So level 2, beginner magician, alright? The person has finally broken out of the New Ageism spell, and they no longer call it New Age, they call it New Age bullshit, because, you know, the key word being bullshit. So, because there are a lot of people that don't get it, like they complain. I've had these arguments with people on social media for a decade now. There's a lot of people that don't want to accept when you call New Ageism, when you call it New Age bullshit. They get offended and they defend it, and they try to figure out what they try to find arguments to defend New Ageism and say this and that. Basically, they're trying to defend the indefensible, trying to defend subjectivism, spiritual subjectivism, basically. Right? Anyway, we'll get into that in other videos, I guess, in more detail. So that will be level 2. That's when you first become a magician, when you break out of New Age bullshit. So, person has awakened to a considerable degree and has at last realized where the word bullshit, as I said, has been added to the term New Age bullshit. So you would be at 4D awareness now, so somewhere in between 3D and 5D, okay? The Master Magician is a true 5D person, which 5D, if we strip away the New Age bullshit from it, all it means is create a God, someone who can co-create. Okay, so you become a little God, and you can co-create in concert with the God, capital G. Okay, so you become a little God, little g, small g, and you can co-create with the God, capital G, which is basically you're the microcosm, but you're raising yourself up to the macrocosm while during magical ritual, and you are drawing down the powers of the macrocosm into the microcosm, because man is a reflection, is the macrocosm in miniature. Okay, the tree of life can be mapped onto the solar system and also onto the human body. So we are like a fractal, okay, of the whole. So we can draw down these powers, like it's that whole Hermetic, as above, so below, okay, that famous Hermetic axiom, the most famous of the Hermetic axioms. And to get to that level, though, you have to go through all the stages that I'm detailing here. You can't just suddenly read a book one day, you know, you can't be like a normie Christian and then just read some ceremonial magic book one day and do the LBRP for a couple of months, and then suddenly you're a master magician that can just completely transform your reality with a few spells, okay? But you can reach that level gradually. Alright, so intermediate, blah blah blah, so we went through the first bullet point. Second point here, reaches for advanced practical metaphysical knowledge with the clear goal in mind of transcending the Saturnian matrix. That's kind of like my term, my version of you know, that David Ickean Saturn Moon matrix concept. I call it the Saturnian matrix because I can, number one, and number two, I don't want to, you know, I don't want Ike or anyone else coming after me and saying you copied that from him, but it's the same concept, but it's more from a Kabbalistic planetary magic place that I come from, like, because it's Saturn. Saturn is the highest planet in the 7-planet matrix, and the Moon is the lowest. Okay, so it creates this loop where we get trapped in the reincarnation loop, and Saturn is the key to that. So breaking the Saturnian matrix would be breaking the wheel of karma and all that stuff that the Hindus always talk about, but they go about it, like I said earlier, in a very slow, glacially slow way. Like, you must meditate for 50 lifetimes in a row every day in a cave and have no women and have no children and just eat berries, living in a cave, just wearing a loincloth, weighing 50 kilograms. That's like that's old hat. That's very, very old technology. That's like, that is not Aquarian Age level stuff. We need really fast, workable stuff from this point onward, and that ain't it. Alright, so reaches for advanced practical knowledge with a clear goal in mind of transcending the Saturnian matrix, but has still not mastered the art of combining useful knowledge with purposeful directed action, i.e. he's not a true magician yet. So to unpack this, part of the sentence, but has still not mastered the art of combining useful knowledge, as in, learning Kabbalistic, Hermetic, planetary magic, Kabbalah with a Q, by the way. I'll get into it in subsequent videos. There's various kinds of Kabbalah. There's a Jewish one spelled with a K, but the one spelled with a Q, if you've seen it, because you probably, if any of you watching have come across this stuff, the ones who know already, but I'm addressing the ones who are kind of new to Kabbalah. You probably have seen it spelled with a Q as well. The one that's spelled with a Q is the European version of the Kabbalah, which is the best one. So studying that would be the useful knowledge aspect, okay, or stuff like that. But the Kabbalah seems to just be like the cream of the cream when it comes to this. When it comes to advanced spiritual knowledge. With purposeful directed action, okay? Using the stuff, using the techniques, using the knowledge that you know. Obviously knowledge is knowing. Using the knowledge that you have towards very specific goals with directed action. So action is the key here. You can't just know stuff or read stuff about, there's all these people, all these new age bullshitters. Like I predicted, air condition on again. So many new age bullshitters I've come across in my social media odyssey on Facebook in the past decade. Where they're absolutely obsessed with the alien. I mean, I did the ancient alien thing to death, and I reached the zenith. I reached the absolute pinnacle in my late 20s. And then I'm tired of it. I'm like, why? I'm not going to just keep looking into this thing forever. Like, I mean, I've done it. I've reached, the circle is complete. You have all these people like continuing on in their 30s and their 40s, constantly obsessing about the alien thing. I'm like, okay, what more do you want to study about this? Well, we know there's probably a federation, not the Galactic Federation of Shite, an actual federation, like a real thing, like they show in the Star Wars and the Star Treks of the world. There must be a confederacy of some, benevolent races. Okay, obviously, I mean, it's like, like a UN writ large, like a galactic version of the UN, that type of thing. Of course, something like that, if there are intelligent races other than humans on Earth all around the galaxy, of course there will be some federation type of thing, right? But not this Galactic Federation of Light crap. That's just like a total psyop, that thing. But there would be something like that. There would be, the reptilian thing, and the Greys and the Arcturians and all that stuff. The basic four races. I mean, there were these guys on Rogan a few months ago that were actually talking about that. Apparent whistleblowers from NASA or something. So it's real. Okay, we know it. So, but talking about it day and night and obsessing about aliens, and there's going to be they're going to eventually tell us the truth soon. Okay, all right, disclosure, that was the word I was looking for. I mean, okay, so what? I know that it's real, so okay, disclosure might happen in a year, it might happen in 50. It's not going to change my life. Okay, it's not going to. Is it going to improve your standing in life somehow? Like when they finally officially tell us that there's thousands of civilized worlds out there other than our own on different planets and systems, what is it going to change about your life? Is it going to improve your life? This is the thing. So this is why I said purposeful directed action. Thinking about aliens and benevolent aliens, Arcturians and Pleiadians and stuff all day is not purposeful directed action unless you're doing something with them, unless you're actually using legitimate techniques through which to telepathically commune with them, and they're giving you actionable intelligence, let's say. Let's use an intelligence community term. Because like I said, I'm very masculine in my approach and my thinking in life. Like I'm very, give me some actionable intelligence, some info, basically, that I can use. That's practical and useful for me. Don't give me the BS that's just fluff and makes me feel good and gives me like a nice story and a nice New Ageism is almost like this. First time this has come to me live right now on camera, but it's a good term. It's almost like spiritual entertainment. It really is like spiritual entertainment. It's like what are they getting from studying benevolent aliens for hours and hours and for years, wasting half of their waking hours? What are you getting out of it? What's the actionable intel? Like the information with which you can get something concrete, practical, something positive out of it that could change your life for the better. What? Is it just a hobby? Is it just entertainment? So that's why this level is intermediate, The person has awakened a little bit, started to break out of New Age bullshit, but has not fully mastered the art of combining useful knowledge with purposeful, directed action. You can only do that, only a master magician would have mastered that, okay? Like not wasting your time on bullshit, only doing the techniques and the systems and the healing modalities and whatever, only the ones that work and only the ones that bring the highest ROI, acronym ROI, return on investment, that you can possibly get. Only those actions are the actions that are worth it. Anything else is just entertainment and wasting your time. Is this a hobby? It's not a hobby. Spiritual advancement, transcending the fucking Saturnian matrix is not a hobby. It's not entertainment. This is fucking serious. Right now, look at me, person who's watching. I'm sorry to say this, because this applies to me as well. It's a terrifying thought. But let me motivate you a little bit. If you're a little bit stuck and you're kind of on the fence about, should I become more practical with my spiritual pursuits, or should it be more of like an entertainment / hobby? Let me tell you some quite a terrifying thought. If you die right now and you're not evolved to a particular, to a bare minimum level, you know what's going to happen? The Saturnian matrix is going to recycle you again. It's going to come back right back again, reincarnate. This is not a game. Every waking second that you have, we've got to put towards the highest ROI spiritual activities. And like I said, that intelligence agency term that I've gotten from the movies, actionable intel. Only information that you can do something with. Actionable. That's the point of that word. Why they combine those two words in that phrase. Actionable intelligence. Something that it's like another way of putting it. It's like, give me something I can work with here, bro. It's like something that I can do something with. Don't just give me information that's interesting, that's entertaining, that's uplifting perhaps, but that cannot change my life in any practical ways. Okay? So if a person in any way, shape or form even has a hint of still having that tendency to sort of drift away and kind of go into right brain mode and feminine spirituality, it's just just reading things just to make them feel good and whatever, but there's no practical benefit behind it, you're still in level 2. It's impossible to be level 3 if you have even a tiny remnant of that tendency and behavior. Okay, where are we at? Okay, level 2, second part of level 2. For the first time, the person understands that just as with all earthly endeavors, spiritual awakening is a linear, step-by-step process that cannot be magically bypassed simply by wiggling one's nose or by waiting for some ascension-causing event. Oh my God. that's the mother of psyops. This shit, that the event was all over social media a few years ago, like the event. So many thousands of people believing it. I don't know who's dumber, the flat earthers or those types. It's like they really believed that. They thought that if some event is going to happen, like this thing is just suddenly, like within 1 millisecond, everything's going to change. Our vibrations are just going to rise up 1,000 points, and we're going to magically get transported to some parallel Earth where everything's perfect or whatever the fuck, you know. So the person that is at this level starts to understand that all this shit, like the event or whatever else, or the Galactic Federation of shite, that stuff is bullshit, you know, because it's, like I said, the level 2 is where you start breaking away from New Ageism. You're not a full magician yet, but you're not a New Ager either, so it's like, okay, so over here you're a dumb New Ager, a naive New Ager, and over here you're a proper Jedi, let's say. Beginner magician, level 2 is kind of like in between, when you're like, you're a recovering New Ager, but you're not a Jedi yet. All right. But you do at this level, you do understand. You're starting to understand that a lot of the New Age stuff is bullshit. But because you've been trained either through organized religion or through New Ageism in level 1 to not take action, because both those religions, Christianity and New Ageism, are very feminine in their approach. It's like, oh, Christianity is like, oh, God works in mysterious, and New Ageism is like, oh, it's your karma, and I was bad, I was a very bad man in the past life, so you see now my life sucks now, I can't do anything about it, sir, sorry. You know, so both those approaches are very, very fatalistic, okay? Massive levels of determinism, okay? Almost no self-determinism, right? But yeah, at this level 2 is at the first point where the person starts getting some of their self-determinism back, right? Sovereignty, here we go, yeah. Sovereignty and self-determinism has increased greatly, as I just said. Wow, it's almost like the same guy who's written this stuff. I'm kind of repeating some of the stuff. I wrote this years ago, but because it's the same guy saying it, I'm coming up with the same ideas that I've written here. Earlier deterministic programming regarding fixed, karmically mandated circumstances has largely dissipated, like I said a minute ago. All right? But you're not out of the woods yet, because you've only just woken the fuck up from the New Age stupor. So you can't become fully self-determined in a month, right? However, still lacks the crucial ingredient required for achieving full self-determinism, or in other words, becoming a true magician: action. See, I've got that in bold, action. That is the key, action. Because like I said a couple of minutes ago, both here and here, the person has been and I mean, this could be like the person from 0 to 25. And then they wake up, and, you know, because of the Dunning-Kruger effect, they think they know it all, and, you know, all these other people up here, like Satanic and Aleister Crowley fans, and, you know, you've got to stay away from that, because New Ageism is the light, love and light. So the Dunning-Kruger effect might keep, you know, the Luciferian trance, or whatever you want to call it, of the New Age trance. The New Age trance is a Luciferian trance, but that's for another video, or videos. They may stay here from 25 to 35 or to 45. They might stay here for another fucking 20 years. So you have, like, this is just a hypothetical, you know, scenario. Let's say a particular person that's going through these levels. So imagine the person, like, for 45 years being, it's either, oh, God works in mysterious ways, or here it's like, oh, my karma keeps me trapped in particular cycles and I can't really do much about it because of... So either way, it's very fatalistic. See, this is why I keep calling this Christianity 2.0, right? So it's very fatalistic. So you have someone in 45 years have not, where was I? No, I'm still here. For 45 years, is running on this software, mental software, this program that's heavily fatalistic. It's very difficult, sometimes almost impossible. That's why there's so few people that make it to the top, to become fully self-determined. You know, a lot of the time you feel guilty. It's like, oh, why should I have this power? And this word, creator God, it triggers me. Because who am I? Because it's like, it's very hubristic to say that I'm a creator God. No, it isn't. If it's lower G, if it's small g, it's fine. No one ever said, you will never hear it from my mouth. Whether it's from the videos or from my writings, I will never, ever, ever, ever say, I will never say in future that a human being can become God, capital G. Never. Little g, okay? Small g, creator God. You can be a co-creator with the greater God. That's it. But a lot of people have been programmed to think that there's something wrong with that. If you enjoy the content of this channel, then there's a good chance you'll also like my fantasy book, Lifting the Curse Volume 1, Guardian of the Magic. Set in the modern day, it's full of action, fantasy, and page-turning conspiracy thriller. It even has numerous references to real-life geopolitical events and conspiracy theories, including a somewhat prophetic mention of the current 2025 Iran-Israel conflict. And so it takes a lot to get from that to that, okay? Breaking through those mental, all those programs, that programming that you've got in these two levels, that's the work that you have to do here in order to get to this ultimate creator God level up here. Which is, there we go, level 3 advanced. So, that's true 5D awareness here, right? This 5D shit that the New Agers talk about, but don't know how the hell they hit. No, not a single one. I've read everything about that stuff back in the day when I studied these things from a New Age lens. Not one of them offers a technique. Like, they don't tell you how to get to 5D awareness. They think it's just going to magically happen if you just think about it for long enough, God, they're so fucking dumb. So anyway, so that's true magician. 5D awareness, all right, combines practical metaphysical knowledge with action, all right. That's the true magician. Fully understand. I mean, when have you ever heard the word action in New Age bullshit? In any of the teachings of New Age bullshit, I haven't. Fully understands that the occult is not evil and therefore has no qualms about either joining magical orders or independently studying and practicing the techniques and rituals that are codified by and or developed by said orders. Understands the Hermetic axiom as above so below. Understands the Hermetic as above so below maxim experientially, okay? Not just intellectually. You've seen it, you've done it. Because you've done planetary magic, you've done spells that are like, you made a talisman out don't know, to get a job or to get a house or something, and then a month later it just happens, like in the most extraordinary way, matrix busting way that you've ever seen in your entire life. So that's experientially, seeing it through experience, through having done it. Like Aleister Crowley's secretary, Israel Regardie, there's that famous story about him making a Jupiter wealth talisman, and then, you know, a couple of days or a couple of weeks later, a massage client gave him an insider stock market tip, and he used it, and he made a ton of money, and then he became independently wealthy, and he took on his massage work or his spiritual pursuits or whatever. He took them on full time. He practically retired from it, from just one Jupiter talisman. Nowhere in the entirety of New Ageism has there been such an incredible success story as far as manifesting wealth or whatever. It just doesn't happen because they don't have any techniques. They do a little bit, but not as good as this stuff, right? Number 3. Okay. Continuing on that one, as above, so below. So you understand the as above, so below experientially at this level. You know that you are the below, and the above is working through you. The macrocosm is working through you. You're being a vehicle for the macrocosm when you do these amazing spells and rituals of the Western magical tradition, of which the Order of the Golden Dawn is the most famous vehicle through which these techniques have been transmitted into the Western world primarily, but all throughout the world. The LBRP and all these things, that's where they come from. Okay, so you see yourself as a macrocosm within the macro, micro within the macro, like I just said. You realize that you are a creator God, okay? In time, he begins to apply the needed metaphysical sciences, i.e. planetary magic, etc., to his life in order to alchemically create the necessary microcosmic effects that will one day free him from the Saturnian matrix. Like I said, which is my term for the, basically the wheel of karma. The Saturnian matrix is like the trap, the reincarnation trap, the reincarnation loop, basically. Has transcended the concept of karma and of limiting beliefs such as it was meant to be, etc. Fully self-determined, master of his own destiny. Okay, this would be the ultimate. Okay, but it's not easy to get there, and I'm sorry to say that a lot of the people that might already be subscribers to this channel, and even some of the newbies that might come across this channel for the first time now with this new batch of videos that I'm going to start making from now on, a lot of you would be here. The New Ageism, I want to say it, New Ageism trance. Okay, it's New Age bullshit. It's no accident people call it bullshit. The bullshit out of that is out of that phrase is the key word. Okay, bullshit is the key word here. So a lot of people might not. This might sound harsh. It might sound untrue. It might sound whatever, but it's a fact. Okay. You have someone here someone talking to you here, yours truly, that I'm not going to self-proclaim. I'm not going to say that I'm at level 3, but I'm well on the way to getting out of level 2. Like I could probably safely say that I'm somewhere in between level 2 and level 3, because I don't want to come out and say, oh, I'm the top master magician, blah blah blah. But I certainly am in this lifetime. I have. This has been confirmed many times through readings and so on that I've gotten from other people and whatever, from many various ways, that I have like a teacher awakener archetype in this life. That's the role that I have. So I have a considerable level of knowledge in these things from past lives and so on, and I've come in this one to act as a teacher of this stuff. So I say with certainty that I am someone that was stuck here partially. I mean, I always saw myself as an occultist. I called myself a New Ager to outsiders, to the normies, to people that are down here. I said I was a New Ager because what am I going to tell them? I'm an occultist? That sounds really bad to these people down here. I mean, it sounds bad to a lot of people here anyway as well. But especially the people down at level 0, when you say occultist, they get blue screen of death. You know, their brain just freezes. So I would present myself as New Ager. But really, privately, I always thought of myself as an occultist. But I never had the time, energy, or resources like to join a proper magical order or whatever in my 20s. I partially regret not having done so. But anyway, the point is that I have broken out of the New Ageism thing for a very long time, and I was never really into it, really. I only took meditation and Reiki from it and NoFap. But NoFap happened on my own. I was told by Higher Self back in 2004. Yes, 21 years ago. Not 24, 2004. When I was 28, 29. I got an automatic writing that told me to throw away all my dirty magazines and whatever and start doing NoFap. I had no internet. The internet was not ubiquitous at that time. I didn't even know what it was, Brahmacharya, aka NoFap. But Higher Self instructed me to do it. So whether NoFap can be considered part of New Ageism or not, maybe it's not, but whatever. It does come from the Hindu tradition, you know, the name Brahmacharya, the official name for it, is a Hindu term. But other than that, I was always attracted to the Western magical tradition, having studied a variety of the different schools of thought that are under the Western magical / Rosicrucian current. Okay, so quite naturally, I think I'm well placed to come out as a teacher now and say, look, guys, this is pretty authoritatively the actual levels, and that's how the levels work, and that's what they are. And if you're there, if you're a New Ager, you're not what you think you are. It's a Dunning-Kruger thing. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect working on you, and you think you know it, but you don't. And until you break out of that and get at the bare minimum to level 2, which is only just beginning to be awesome, because that word there is pretty much synonymous with awesome. It's pretty much magician, white magician, obviously. Would be like the closest thing to like a real life Jedi type of thing. Alright, so it's based, okay? This, it's not based at all. There's nothing good about it, like I said, apart from meditation, Reiki, and a couple of other energy healing techniques and so on. Ho'oponopono is really good as well, and some other things like that. But other than that, there's nothing really positive to be gained from New Ageism. You got to, as quick as possible, try as much as you can to snap out of this New Age trance and make the jump to the next level here. But one must disabuse themselves of the false programming that they've gotten in these 2 levels here. Because just because you've gotten into the New Age thing and woken up and taken the red pill doesn't mean that you've completely rid yourself of your prior religious programming. So you carry it with you in here as well, to this level. And then when you start looking to get, when you're on the fence here and you're looking on the other side of the fence and seeing Aleister Crowley and stuff like that, and you're like, ooh, that's scary, that man with the hexagram. Oh no, someone said something about him on a YouTube video, I mean, I haven't even read a single fucking sentence of any of his books, but some guy on YouTube said something, so I believe that guy now. It's like you magically know everything about the person's work without having read a single sentence of any of the things they wrote. That's amazing. It's an incredible talent some of these people have, right? So what I'm being very sarcastic about, in my delivery, but what I'm saying, because I'm very frustrated about this thing, that whole thing about do what thou wilt. I mean, they hear do what thou. So many people at this level, they hear do what thou wilt, and it's like they would freak out less at the prospect of tying them up and forcibly feeding them cockroaches, live cockroaches. They would react less horrified to that than they often do when they just hear the phrase "do what thou wilt." I mean, the stupidity and ignorance is staggering. It's absolutely epic. I promise that I'm going to detail this in subsequent videos about the "do what thou wilt" thing, what it really means, and the full quote, because it's not the full quote, you see. So we're going to break through those lies and the misinformation that we get at these two lower levels here, which are both religions. Here's Christianity here, and this is Christianity 2.0. It's a repackaged Christianity. It's a New Age. Is a religion. It's a religion. So you gotta break through the programming that you get from these two low levels to eventually start making something of yourself. Becoming someone. Because here, it's nothing. I mean, you may as well just become a Christian again. It's probably better. In many ways, it's probably better because it's New Ageism. There's a lot of danger, like with a lot of people. I had that problem in the past as well. It's happened to me. You can get a lot of problems with dark entities, okay? Because people don't protect themselves properly when they do rituals and healings and so on, and you can get possessed. Or sometimes, it can get to the point where you can get legit possessed by dark entities. And that's why a lot of people relapse and go back to Christianity again. It's like, if you're not doing it fucking right, what do you expect? So then they're like, oh, New Ageism is bad, I should go back to level 0 and become a nothing again, a 0. Yeah, great, good job. So you wasted 20 years of your life trying to wake up. You're almost just about to break through to get to the level 2, which is like the beginner awesome. See, beginner awesomeness. You're just at the beginning when you break out of New Ageism, not religion. When you break out of New Ages, the New Age trance, that's when you start. You only just start on the awesome levels. See, there's two. There's like the two bottom levels are crap, and the two higher levels are the good ones. This one's better, obviously, Master Magician. But if you're a beginner, it's okay. It's like getting into university. It's like at least you're in, okay? Now, whether you're going to graduate, whether you're going to get a PhD, or become a professor, or, whether you're going to go to like a average university or to Ivy League, there's quite a few variables there. But at least you're in. Until you get in, you've got nothing. I mean, you might as well be like a normie Christian. I mean, New Ageism, what is New Ageism given you apart from meditation, So yeah, it's very confronting for a lot of people to accept that being into this religion in level 1 for all their lives, they've almost made no progress at all. You made a little bit of progress, but it's only 10% of what you think it was. Okay, I'm not putting people down here. I'm just trying to push you to get to these levels. Okay, and subsequent videos, not all of them, but there are going to be some videos that are going to be all about that, like talking about how to break through the misinformation and the lies that people are told about what ceremonial magic is and what it isn't, and the fact that of how it stops people from breaking out of New Ageism, and it keeps them in this treadmill, going around in circles and being stuck on this New Age bullshit train. And it's terrible because at the end of the day, it's your eternity, your immortal soul that's being trapped. You're going to barely evolve. You're not going to get access to the proper techniques that you need to break the Saturnian matrix, because you ain't going to get them. You're definitely not going to get them here. Religion, and this just came to me now organically as I'm speaking. The only improvement that New Ageism has on Christianity, on organized religion, Abrahamic faiths in particular, because the other ones, they talk about reincarnation, but the Abrahamic faiths, they flatly lie, they lie through their teeth about reincarnation. They tell us reincarnation is not real. The only thing that New Ageism does differently is, like, at least it tells us that reincarnation is real. So that's the only benefit you're getting. That's the only add-on. Other than that, there's almost no difference between Christianity and New Ageism. It's just in New Ageism they're just telling you, oh, Christianity's been lying to you about reincarnation. That's it. Other than that, you're not getting any extra bonuses, right? So just by knowing the problem, it's like going to the doctor and saying, it's like over here, it's like you don't even know that you've got cancer or something. And here, it's like, well, we diagnosed the problem. You have so-and-so disease, so we've diagnosed it. So in level 1, you diagnose the problem. It's like, in level 0, they were lying to me about reincarnation. Or if you were that unbelievably fucking dumb that you were into scientism and you were a complete atheist, which is even worse than being religious, and you wake up and you're like, oh, there's more to life than just, what I can see, feel, hear and touch, and, the soul exists and we don't just vanish when we die or whatever. It's like when we die, it's not like as if we never existed to begin at all. So you go there, you start exploring the New Ageism thing, and you learn, okay, the wheel of karma, and blah, 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 and all the Hinduism stuff, because New Ageism is like, the Eastern mystery tradition repackaged for the West, for a Western audience, really. Whereas the West should actually, what we need as the West is the Western magical tradition, which that's almost nowhere to be seen, because it's like, oh my God, the Golden Dawn, Aleister Crowley, do what they will, that's satanic. They don't even know why it is. So anyway, I'll explain in subsequent videos why it isn't. So you get to this level and it's like, okay, now I know the problem. I know that we are in this reincarnation trap, this time loop, reincarnation loop. Alright, now we know. How do we get out? Level 1 doesn't tell you how. What does it say? What do? Just meditate? They got no techniques. No, they want you to go to 5D, to become 5D. Did they tell you how? They keep saying, oh, it's our destiny to become creator gods in the Aquarian age. Did they fucking give you the techniques and the ways to do that? No. They just talk about it. Okay? So this is just all talk. They just understand the problem, but they give you 0 techniques and ways to solve it. Alright? This is the first level where the person starts getting close to waking up. So it's like, I could probably upgrade this graphic and make a line go through here and have like an arrow saying like the negative and up there going like the positive. So anything below this level is destructive and negative, and anything from this level and up, that's when the positive thrust starts to begin. So starts to begin. That's when the positive level starts. So these 2 levels are just 0. I mean, might as well could have just called it, level 0 and level -1, whatever. But this is how I've made it now. So these are the levels. 0 is 0 because, like I said 100 times in this video, it's like these people that believe either of these 2 things you are absolute zeros. You're nothing. People that are like, they do nothing for the world. Like, it's just what you're doing is you're just getting recycled every lifetime. You're going to get recycled again and again and again. You're just part of the matrix. You're a non-player character. You're like you're an extra. Okay. People up here are the stars of the play, and you're just an extra down here. Up here, level 1, you're kind of like maybe a stuntman or something, so you got like a higher, sort of a little bit higher on the hierarchy of the movie production of the play. Here is like the second level actors. Up here is like the top level, the A-list actors. Over here is like the B-list sort of character actors. they're not leading men or whatever, but they're like character Shakespearean actors. They make a living, but they're not Tom Cruise level superstars or whatever, DiCaprio or whatever. But yeah, so if you're at these two levels here, no, get out. I mean, people that are at level 0, they're not really, even if they do come across this video or channel, they're going to click away straight away. They're going to probably dislike, what is it? Dislike, unlike, I don't remember now. Yeah, and they're not going to be interested. But the level 1 people are going to be a lot of the people that are existing subscribers, and also people that will just come across, the almighty algorithm will bring this video to your attention. And I'm here to remind you that my mission in life, or your mission if you choose to accept it, I'm just going to be your guide, but your mission is to get the fuck out of level 1 and start exploring level 2, because this is a dead end, my friends. Okay, so that's all for today. If you enjoyed it, obviously pass it along, comment, like, subscribe, send it to a friend if you think they're going to benefit from it, and comment underneath please and tell me your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching.